Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Thursday, May the 4th, 2023, Throne Thursday. Today we're pulling from the Game of Thrones tarot cards. We have the High Priestess, and I feel like communication, and I feel like this could be communication with yourself. I feel like changing our perspective, so you could have like now opened up to the other side of the veil where, you know, like life isn't what we were programmed it to be since we were children. So it could be on that side. I definitely feel like this is a time of rest and rejuvenation. So this could be like giving yourself permission, being like, you know what, you've been spiraling out of control. Not out of control, but I feel like your energy is just so scattered. You're being pulled in this direction, in this direction, in this direction. So it's just like having the determination, having the discipline to sit there and get things done that you need to get done. Like, you know, the one part of my life is quieted down. Now work is just like, you know, drop this bomb. It's like, you need to get this done by Friday. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I could either sit there and drag my butt and kick and moan about it, or I could just sit there, suck it up, get it done, and, you know, have it finished. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's how you see things. It's like, yeah, it needs to get done. Everybody's doing it. You know, it's unfortunate the situation is where I was only told, like, I only have 4 days to get it done because, you know, when I was told, but it's just like, you know, with determination and dedication, just get it done. You know what I mean? Leading towards the sun. We begin this so much. Today's actual card is the sun that I just posted. And I feel like it's like success is about to surround you. I feel like the next 2 weeks till May 15th, I feel like it's just like, you know, aligning your energy, you know, resting, rejuvenating, not feeling guilty about it, doing things for yourself, maybe getting your house reorganized. We were talking about that yesterday. So it's just like, you know, all the hard work, all the seedlings that you planted are all for a purpose. It's all leading up to something here. The 10 of coins, it's like, you know, happy couple, happy children, happy home life, happy fur babies, happy grandparents. You know, they're showing the astrology answer is yes. So if you were asking, will I pass my exams? Will I do this? Will I do that? The answer is yes. This is a really beautiful card in the minor arcana. We have the world, and I feel like this is where it's like we're getting ready for that next chapter. I've been saying this, like, you know, tying up everything with a nice bow, getting everything finished. Maybe you're taking all your spring and summer stuff out, or maybe you're like myself where it's like it's been raining and cold, so it's like, okay, wait till it gets a little warmer. You know what I mean? So it's just like maybe preparing yourself mentally for the next season to come. But I feel like something has happened here that has changed your perspective. I feel like, especially when I was sitting there, I'm like, I feel like I'm being tested. I said that I've been saying this, and it's like, no, it's a time to showcase who you are. Are you who you say you are? Are you, you say you're a good person, you do this, you do that. It's like, do you do those things? Or is it just talk? You know what I mean? And I, like I said, dare I say that we're about to be rewarded for that? So, you know, I feel like it's just enjoy this time, rest, give yourself permission to rejuvenate, you know, do small, like, I haven't given myself a facial mask in I don't know how long, because it's like when my day is off, it's like the last thing, I'm like prying open my eyes and I'm like, do I really want to put on contacts so I can give myself a mask? Like put a facial mask on, but it's just like, oh my gosh, it was so worth it. I sat there, I cleaned my face, I put Noxzema on, let that absorb, clean that off. And then there's this beautiful mask I got from the dollar store. It's a vitamin E pearl infused mask. It looks like you're putting lotion on your face. Oh my gosh, was it ever nurturing? It's just, oh my word. I just, my skin just drank it all up. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my word. I haven't done that in so long. I was just like, okay, need to definitely make this a habit again, you know? And my sons are getting older, and it's like, okay, time to get in a skincare routine. How, you know, showing them what to do, and they're doing it for themselves now. Like, they just wash their face with a warm cloth and put Noxzema in, let that goodness absorb, then they rinse it off, and then, you know, let that dry, and then we put on a nice we put on baby lotion, because they're not too much fans of Aveeno, but they have sensitive skin. So I'm just like, okay, let's just use baby lotion for now. So it, you know, it's just, you know, putting those beautiful habits into your children. It's like, you know, do something for yourself. So the priestess, wisdom, secrets, the spiritual realms, intuition, feminine power. So this is where we got clairvoyance last night. And I posted that before I went to bed. And I feel like it's like, stop and listen. You know, we usually put this window fan on, and last night, not last night, a couple nights ago, we could hear this owl hooting. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would love to just go in the backyard and find it and take a picture. But I'm just like, you know what? Just leave it alone. It was meant there to hear. We're meant to see it. We visually see it, you know? But I feel like that's just like, you know, an owl hooting. I feel like it's just like positive confirmation of things to come. So, wisdom, intuition, secrets. The card invites you to honor your intuition and connect with your spiritual guides. This is also a time for privacy and discretion. So I feel like things will happen and you can't share it. I feel like it's like, you know, maybe you've shared it before and it's like kind of blown up in your face. I feel like, you know, one thing I've learned is like nobody needs to know your finances, because some people will take advantage of that. Oh, you did that? Okay. You know, oh, you did that? Okay. You know, I need you to do this. I need, you know, they'll take advantage. So keep it to yourself. This is also a time, you may need to protect a secret or at least keep your own counsel. Your inner life is important now, and you may be drawn to study or seek a mentor. Significant dreams, clairvoyance. So I feel like, you know, this is where I felt like my third eye, I felt like my crown chakra, you know, definitely levitating to a higher level of consciousness, you know. I feel like sometimes it's just like we have to reach a certain level for us to be open to the next thing. It's like you have to be open-minded. You have to be accepting. Maybe that's where they're saying you have to keep your own counsel, because some people are like, oh my gosh, are you crazy? Younger people, they can't say that they have those abilities. Even Steven Tyler, is it Steven Tyler? Tyler Henry, excuse me. Steven Tyler. Maybe Steven Tyler as well. Tyler Henry said that when his grandmother passed, he had those abilities, but him and his mother cannot advertise it to too many people, because he's like, you can't go around saying that. He's like, you'll get locked up. And it's true. Someone, and I'm not kidding you, I was renting a house when I first moved here, and my mom had the one-bedroom apartment in the basement, and me and the kids had the upstairs. And I would sit there and have conversations with God, praying, like, you know, God, please help me get through this day. Like, just like that. I'll be like, God, like, I'm really struggling today. Like, you know, the anxiety in my chest is a lot, you know, because Shane had just passed away. And it's like, you know, it's hard for me to see a way forward. Please give me the strength to keep moving forward. You know, please, you know, I'm grateful for the roof over my head, the clothes on my back, the food on our table. You know, the kids are happy. I'm like naming off. She turned around and was like, oh, she's nuts. She talks to God. I'm like, and you know, I'm like, aren't you allowed to pray? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, so what's the issue? Nothing. I'm like, well, you know, there's a church literally like 3 houses down from us, and you're complaining that I'm praying or I'm having a conversation with God. Praying is a conversation with God. You know what I mean? It's like, how dare you take someone's most intimate moment and turn it into something that's evil and manipulative? You know what I mean? Just because they were trying to manipulate the situation. It's just, that's why I feel like sometimes it's like you got to keep things to yourself, because people are just disgusting. Like, honestly. Like, I love people. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my soul tribe. But we all know we've been in situations where people just are vile and gross and really negative, just because they want to turn things in their narrative, just because that's who they are. And I'm like, how can you live with yourself like that? Like, get a hobby, you know? So, refuge, rest, recovery, stress, withdrawal. It's time to rest and rejuvenate after a period of stress. This may be taking time away from work to recover from physical illnesses or pressure. All the pressure at work right now. Like, I swear, it's like, beep, okay, next call. It's like, oh my word. You know, it's that time of year, but it's just like, oh my gosh. It's just like I get to a point where I get dizzy. It's like, it's crazy. Or put up a relationship or project on hold until it's time to make a decision. See this as an opportunity to find personal space and perspective. The card can also show time to reconnect with your spirituality. You know, with myself, it's like the one thing that brought me back to is like, you know, Shane was like, you know, you should practice. He's like, you should read an article like every day, you know? And I'm like, well, I do. And he goes, no, he goes like, you know, change it to like a book or something. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you'll notice that your spelling and everything will get better. I'm like, all right, no worries. So we went to the dollar store and I happened to see a Bible, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like going back to, you know, where my heart is, you know? So I picked it up and I brought it home and I read it. You know what I mean? And ever since then, it's just that's where, I've reconnected back because, you know what I mean? I used to pray with God all the time, when I was younger. And my young self, with the lack of wisdom that I had, was like, blame, I was sitting there and asking God for a situation to end, and it didn't. And I blame God for it. And I'm like, well, it's not God's fault. Everyone, as I grew older, it's like that person had free will. They were an adult. They choose to make those choices. Unfortunately, I was a young individual and had, what are you supposed to do at that age? You know what I mean? So it's like now we're equipped with, so many things, but there were so many situations where it's like you thought we were getting out of it, but then we got brought back into it. You know what I mean? Because of someone else's choices. So it's just like, there goes my knee. It's just like realizing as you get older, it's just like, people are responsible for their actions and how they treat others. You know what I mean? And other people are just bystanders. And it's like, well, as long as it doesn't affect me, it's okay. And it's like, that's exactly what recently happened. Because they weren't behind the cruelty and the nastiness, it's like, it's okay. They overlooked it. But as soon as they came subject to it, all of a sudden it's a problem. You know what I mean? So it's just like selective thinking, But it is what it is. So the sun, optimism, success, achievement, growth, happiness, well-being, vacations, family. So changing our perspective is just like, with myself, it's like my kids are like, what do you want for Mother's Day? And I'm like, you know what? You already gave it to me. The past 8 weeks has been hell, especially the beginning of it. And I said, you guys showed incredible empathy towards someone. Like, even in your young lives, it's like, we couldn't do much, but you guys showed up and showed out as much as you could in your young life. And I'm like, I couldn't be prouder. That is the biggest Mother's Day gift for me. That my children have grown up to be these empathetic, sympathetic, loving, caring souls. That is the biggest Mother's Day gift for me. Is to actually show that, the words that I've been speaking or the lessons I've been teaching or my own actions have, opened their hearts and their minds to be like, that's who they are. Because that's who me and their dad are. You know what I mean? It's like we cannot help every single person. We can't help every single situation. But where we could, as a family, we did. So that is the biggest Mother's Day gift I could ever ask for. The sun is one of the most positive cards in the tarot, signifying happiness, well-being, and opportunities to bask in your achievements. This card often shows a well-deserved vacation and overall reaching a point where you can ease up and share precious time with those close to you. Definitely like cuddling, watching movies and stuff like that. Like, it's just what a wonderful thing to do. I definitely, I always sit there and I'm like, I miss when they were younger. We would all get together as a family, watch a kid's movie, maybe watch it 100 billion times. You know what I mean? Like, I always enjoyed Toy Story and everything. I still do. You know what I mean? That's why one of the things I loved about babysitting is just like, I get to watch all those movies again, but it's just like, you know what I mean? The money's just not there. It's just like, it's not feasible for me to, for us to survive, especially nowadays. Oh my gosh, the card also favors time with children, nurturing new projects, and conditions that lead to financial success, relationship growth. Time to reconnect with our kids because we definitely, especially school. Oh my God, Manon. Oh my word. The freaking, we were sitting there and it's like, it's like with adding and subtracting was like 4 pages. And then multiplication was 4 pages, division was 4 pages, fractions, I can't remember what was after that, but the rest of it was just like cylinders and measuring and pi and figuring out rhombus and all this. I'm like, my head was spinning and I'm just like, they're never going to use this. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we're stressing our children out over nothing. Yes, I understand there are children that are so flippin' amazing and geniuses and yeah, they deserve to learn those things because they will do incredible things in this world. But then there's some of us that are like, huh? What was that again? And it's like, no matter how much like, I don't know how many hours we spent watching YouTube videos just to figure this crap out. I'm just like, oh my gosh, but that's what we have to do for curriculum, but it's a shame. Life lessons And, teaching, they even say that in Japan, like, for until grade 4, they don't examine the children because they're teaching building character and building kindness. You know what I mean? It's totally different, values. That's what's going to carry you in life. I'm not saying school is not important. Yes, you need to learn how to read, write, math, how to carry a checkbook, how do you do your taxes. These are the things we're taught, life and death, It's just the thing, like, let's learn about Rompus for the rest of the year and pi and how to figure out the freaking volume of a cylinder. It's just like, right? Like nowadays, like, my gosh. So 10 of coins, wealth, happiness, consolidation, family, marriage. The joyful 10 shows consolidating wealth and sharing love. It's the card of meaning, including relationship, commitment, marriage, wedding gifts, inheritance, with no harm to none. And so it is. Strong ties across the generations and close family circles. Relationships and investments mature. Additional meanings include good advice from an older person and finding your dream home. With the grace of Yahweh, Yeshua, Universe, Divine Creator, Gaia, Mother Earth, may the universe bless you good. Like, honestly, like, what is the biggest freedom in life? Like, a lot of us, it's like we don't want to be trillionaires or anything. It would be just so nice not to have bills where it's crippling. You know what I mean? It would be so nice to sit there and not have to worry about, turning on the lights. Oh my gosh, the bill's going to be so high. Turning on the heat. Like, you need heat to heat your home. And it's like, it's so high now. It's just like, okay, only put it on at certain hours. You know what I mean? It's just, or like rent's coming up, or this is coming up, that's coming up. You know what I mean? Like, hustle, hustle, hustle. Or if you feel under the weather, and it's like you can't even afford to take a day off, you still show up to work and you're still unappreciated. It's just like, But I feel like with this, they were showing astrology answers, yes. So I feel like if you're asking a question, they're saying yes to this. This is like in the minor arcana, like a major, like, positive card of yes. So I feel like, you're like probably like myself or just like, oh my gosh, it's like, things are going to ease up, I definitely feel like, especially with the 4 of Swords showing up a lot, it's just, it's time to rest and rejuvenate. It's time to recenter yourself. The world. Completion, success, reward, integration, expansion. The world represents fulfillment, deserved success. This may be graduation, promotion, the completion of a landmark creative project, or celebrating anniversaries and birthdays. So we have Mother's Day coming up. This is where it's just like my kids are like, what do you want for Mother's Day? I'm like, honestly, you guys already gave it to me. You know what I mean? Like, what is the biggest, thing that you can't even, it's priceless, that what they did. It's just like, it shows their heart, and they're so young still. You know what I mean? And I'm just like so proud of them. It's just like, what an amazing character they show. No cameras were on. They were not recording this to get, praise or accolades or likes or posts or anything like that. It's like they did that out of the goodness of their heart. They saw someone hurting and they're like, they surrounded them and they're like, how can we help? Like, even if it's just hugging them, just saying, I'm here for you. It's just like they went well above and beyond. In relationships and family, love flourishes and brings you joy. The card also heralds a time of expansion and future plans take seed. You may travel or move to a new business or friendship circle. Spiritually, the card suggests connecting with the world. Awards and gifts. I actually got an award this week, and it's just like, all I get here is just like, oh, that doesn't matter with your end. It's like, nobody cares. It's like I got it's called like a compliments line. So it's just like, oh, sorry, this mailbox is full. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, we were told not to pay attention to that anymore. And I'm like, I got so many of those awards over the year. I'm like, does that matter? Nope, don't matter. I'm like, okay. Like the worst year-end review I've ever got. No, not the worst. The other one was the worst. So the Hangman, changing our perspective. Time, suspension, waiting, transition, protection, reveals, sacrifice. So the reverse card also asks you to rethink an objective. It may be unrealistic. For some of us, it's just like, I feel like trying to force a relationship. I feel like it's like, oh, they'll come around. And I'm like, if someone likes you, they'll be around. They'll be annoyingly around. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they will always blow up your phone. A broader interpretation is wasting your time. It may be time to walk away rather than wait much longer for a decision to be made. I feel like it's like forcing decisions. You know what I mean? Some, like, especially nowadays, young people are rushing into nothing. You know, you're seeing a lot more and more of, you know, young men not getting married, you know, like settling into relationships until their 30s. You know, maybe you're lucky if they get married at 40. You know what I mean? It's just like, they're like, oh, well, you know, I could have kids in my 40s and then I got my 50s, 60s. Like, because nobody is, by the grace of God, you know, look at our situation. It's like, you know, people are living a lot longer. So it's like, you know, oh, by the time you're 60, it's like everything's downhill. Like, yeah, your body is creakier, but it's like, it's the what you make of it. You know what I mean? Keep your body moving. And that's the biggest thing. Like, you know, when they were showing about like health, you know, when it comes to working out and everything, for not only for your mental health, but also for your physical well-being. Like, you want to sit there in your 60s, 70s, 80s, getting able to get out of a chair, to walk, to do things for yourself. You know, wipe your own butt. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it seems so simple, but it's just like, you know what I mean? We take for granted all the abilities that we have. And it's like, that's what we should be working and striving for, that our physical well-being. That's why I'm like, you know what? I had to do my own snow removal, but it's just like, you know what? It just the fresh air just grounded me. You know what I mean? And getting that workout in, it just, all that pent up aggression or energy or whatever I was feeling got, you know, I was able to get a task done. You know, you look out the window, you're tired as heck, but it's just like, at least now I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, do it for longevity. Don't do it for the fact that, like, oh, I want to be a supermodel. I want to be a size 2. I want to look like the girls on the Met Gala. I want to look like this one on page 6. It's like, do it for yourself. Do it for your mental health. Do it for your physical well-being. The fact that you'll be able to get your butt out of a chair when you're 60, 80, you know what I mean? What a blessing. You know, if you don't, like they said, you don't use it, you lose it, you know? Do it for your longevity. Don't do it because, you know, of, you know, the world standards, you know? So I feel like rest and rejuvenation, get in touch back with yourself, getting in a proper routine again. I feel like your routine has been scattered, probably just like mine. It's like getting back into that routine where everything is just flowing the right way. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Thursday, May 4th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card.